Chapter 11. To each their part. Hopefully you're all having a great day and a happy holiday. The moment the door closes behind Philippe, you turn to your sister in a fury. What were you thinking accepting his offer on my behalf? I found you an official courtship and took your first real step towards an engagement. You should be thrilled. Thrilled. It's hard to be thrilled about something that was decided for me. I know what our family expects, but I wish you had consulted me before agreeing to a courtship on my behalf. As Adele sees the devastation in your eyes, her excitement falters for just a moment. I'm sorry if I was just overeager, but what's done is done, and this is what's best for our family. And what about what's best for me, Adele? Or have you forgotten that? Yeah, why don't you sell yourself as a piece of cattle? You storm towards your bedroom, reaching for the door. Violet, wait. Philippe has invited you to a show tomorrow evening. Regardless of how you feel, I expect you to be there. We cannot miss your first outing as a formal couple. Adele, then you'll have to drag me there. Then maybe I will. You're not too old for me to lead around by the ear. I'm sure Philippe will be interested in that. Slamming the door on your sister, you collapse onto your bed. Tears spill down your cheeks onto the plush pillow. This can't be happening. A courtship pushes me one step closer to an engagement I don't want, and pulls me even further away from Theo. Sleep is hard to find, and the next day passes in a haze of weariness and clipped words between you and Adele. That evening, you reluctantly follow her in the lobby of one of the Titanic's theaters. Thank you for not making me literally drag you. One of us has to preserve some sense of dignity. She seems to wince just as Philippe approaches you both, smiling broadly. There she is. It's an honor to officially be courting such a beauty as yourself, Violet. You look more radiant than ever. I'm gonna be nice to him. That's very flattering. What a gallant thing to say. She gives you a small, encouraging smile. Lucky. Violet is lucky to have such a gentlemanly suitor. The luck is all mine. I just hope you ladies enjoy the performance. I would enjoy it more with other company. For just a moment, through the crowd, you spot a familiar figure, tall and broad-shouldered. Theo? But then the man turns and you see another passenger in simple clothing chatting with his friends. Your heart sinks. Of course it's not him. Speaking of the show, may I offer you some concessions? He gestures towards a small stand at the edge of the lobby where vendors are selling drinks and various flavors of popped corn. I'm afraid I daren't risk any of the popped corn. The molasses topping they're serving doesn't agree with my stomach. But you ladies should feel free to enjoy, of course. I suppose I wouldn't mind. How about some lemonade? Something light and refreshing for such a lovely woman. 2 lemonades for my companions, please. What are you drinking? Philippe places the order without a second thought, and offers you the 2 glasses he receives with a smile. I never said I wanted lemonade, this is true. You never gave me a chance to order. No need when I knew you'd enjoy it. Everyone does, no? That's not the... Adele subtly nudges you in the side, raising her voice as she puts on an ingratiating smile. We will enjoy it, and your generosity very much. Theo would never be so presumptuous or so controlling. Didn't get any popcorn. As you settle in your seats, Philippe is the very picture of an attentive suitor. I got us the best seats in the house. Well, second best. His private booth was sadly all taken. If we were in Paris, I would love to take you to a proper show in my family's private box at the Palais Garnier. But every gallant gesture he makes only leaves you cold. It's because he's trying to show off like a peacock. He is the last person I want to be courting me, and the one person I want I cannot truly have. To your relief, a hush falls across the crowd as the stage curtains draw back, signaling the start of a mid-summer night's dream. Now, fair Hippolytia, Our nuptial hour draws on apace. 4 days will quickly steep themselves in night, and then the moon, like to a silver bow new bent in heaven, shall behold the night of our solemnities. A romance about star-crossed lovers, how fitting. At least while the actors are on stage, I won't have to talk to... Your optimism is dashed when he leans forward in his seat, whispering loudly in your ear. Did you know that I happen to be a bit of an amateur thespian myself? My performance as Oberyn once brought tears to the audience's eyes. You grit your teeth trying to ignore his warm breath on your neck. I'm sure it did. He's already grating on my last nerve, and we're not even halfway through the first scene. If this is what a lifetime with him will be like, I couldn't bear it. Desperate for a distraction, you take another sip of your lemonade and you suddenly remember Felipe's comments at the concession stand. If I accidentally order the wrong popcorn, I could get rid of him just for one night. The show would be much fun, more fun even with Adele. No offense to the guy, but I mean, he's trying his best, right? You know, you could always just be like, shh, I'd like to enjoy the show. Just saying. As the idea takes shape, you quickly gulp down the rest of your lemonade, lifting the empty cup for Felipe and Adele to see. I'll be right back, I just need another drink. Shall I get it for you? Oh, that's very kind, but there's no need. I'd hate for you to miss any part of the performance. Before he can protest, you slip out of your seat, hurrying towards the lobby. You catch Felipe's whisper to Adele as you go. I had no idea your sister was such a thoughtful young woman. Oh, you'll just see how thoughtful I can be. I'll take 3 more lemonades, please, and 1 popcorn with extra molasses. Server nods and generously drizzles molasses over the whole container before passing it back to you. Popcorn with molasses on top? Let me know if you've ever had it. Back in your seat, you pass around the lemonades and then help yourself to a handful of freshly popped corn. This popcorn is delicious. On stage, several new, harried-looking actors are now acting out a play within a play. First, good Peter Quince, say what the play treats on. Mary, your play is the most lamentable comedy. To your delight, Felipe absently reaches for a handful. He takes a bite, chewing happily. Delightful and so sweet. He suddenly goes pale. Miss Violet, there wasn't any molasses on the corn, was there? Oh dear. I completely forgot. You do your best to look apologetic as his face takes on a greenish tinge, his forehead damp with sweat. I'm so sorry. I feel absolutely terrible. As Adele looks on in concern, his stomach gives an audible rumble. If you ladies would excuse me for just a moment, I must, Oh, God, where are the facilities? I've never seen someone's stomach react that fast when it just went in their mouth. Adele purses her lips in irritation as Felipe beats a hasty retreat down the aisle. What a waste. I was hoping you could get to know each other better tonight, progress your courtship. It's entirely not a waste. When was the last time we did anything fun together, just as sisters? Yeah, without you selling her off to the market like a cow. You gesture down at the stage as elaborately dressed actors move amongst even more elaborate scenery. You mean besides our whirlwind vacation in Europe that led us here? Besides the vacation where you were secretly trying to find me wealthy European suitors, yes. I can't even remember the last time we went to a show. For a moment, she looks torn, and then her expression softens. It has been a long time. And if I'm being honest, I'm not sure how much more of Felipe's commentary I could have taken. And yet you want her to marry him. I knew it. I knew he was irritating you too. Just because I approve of his prospects as a suitor doesn't mean I think he'd make a good thespian. I'll try to steer any future outings away from shows that would encourage more of his commentary. You let a snort of laughter, and Adele lifts a hand to her mouth, hiding a giggle of her own. You watch the play in companionable silence for a few minutes, passing the popcorn between yourselves. Let me play the lion too. I will roar. I will make the Duke say, let him roar again, let him roar again. You should do it. You do it too terribly. You would frighten the Duchess and the ladies. They would shriek, and that were enough to hang us all. I always wish they'd let him roar. Let us hear Bottom's awful roar. But what if Quince is right, and he frightened us so badly that we fainted dead away? Adele presses a hand to her forehead and mimes fainting, and both of you burst into quiet giggles. You know, this reminds me of that silly play we put on for our parents when we were little. You mean Princess and the Potato, the Highwayman's Revenge, Romeo and Juliet, Volume 2. We'll do Princess and the Potato. Please tell me Adele was the potato. What? I never did understand why the princess slept with a potato under her mattress. It was supposed to be a pea, but unfortunately the cook didn't have any in the house. Troublesome child that you were. You refused to eat. I was 5 years old, or allowed to have sensitive palates. I suppose so. You're certainly more adventurous now. On stage, new actors in elaborate costumes and face paint appear in the role of noble fairies. Oh, what jealous Oberon! Fairies, skip hence! I have forsworn his bed and company.
Tarry, rash wanton, am not I thy lord?
The actors are quite good, aren't they? And it's much easier to hear the lines without any other interruptions. Haven't you two been talking? Tonight is the closest she's ever come to criticizing Philippe, and you feel a sudden rush of affection. Yes. I missed you, Adele. I know things have been tense these last few days, but I hope you know that I still love you. For the briefest of moments, Adele reaches over the armrest to give your hand a squeeze. And I love you, Violet, no matter what we both must do. For now, though, all we have to do is enjoy the play together. The rest of the first act passes with more laughter and shared jokes, leaving you more at ease than you felt in days. I can't remember the last time things with Adele felt this normal, and I've never been more grateful to molasses. I've had molasses cookies, they're pretty good, but never had molasses popcorn. During intermission, you and Adele are stretching your legs when you hear a familiar voice call your name. Violet! Violet! Turning in surprise, you see Loretta bustling through the crowd towards you. Hello, Loretta. It's good to see you again. I thought I might find you here. I hope you're enjoying the play. I am, actually. Much more than expected. You smile at Adele, and your sister smiles warmly back. Yes, it's been a treat, even if our other companion is indisposed at the moment. Listen, if I may ask, I was actually hoping Violet might join me for the rest of the show. What? My husband booked a private booth back when he thought he might join me on the voyage, but I'm afraid that's left me all alone. I hate to disturb your plans, but could you possibly take pity on a poor woman sitting all by her lonesome? Loretta's words sound innocent enough, but the wink she aims in your direction is anything but. Whatever she's up to, I have a feeling it's preferable to spending the second half of the play with Philippe. I would hate to leave a friend in the lurch, especially one whose friendship I consider such a valuable asset. You glance meaningfully in Adele's direction. Your sister wrings her hands together, clearly torn. Well, if it be such a favor to Miss Langley, given her connections, I suppose I can get by on my own. Surely Philippe's stomach will settle soon. What's wrong with... You know what? I won't trouble you for the details. I promise to return Violet the moment the curtain closes. Loretta laces her arm in yours and whisks you towards a set of stairs, far from Adele's watchful eyes. Just up there, my dear, quickly now. Yeah, but what the hell are you going to do for the rest of the show? She leads you to her private booth where someone rises from a plush seat to greet you. Ah, I see what you did there. No surprise. Theo, what are you doing here? I asked Loretta to help me surprise you. Which I was more than happy to do. Now you two enjoy the rest of the play and your privacy. I know, it's called privacy, but back in Europe in 1900s they said privacy. With a final wink in your direction, Loretta steps away, leaving you and Theo alone in a luxurious and modestly curtained booth. You throw your arms around his neck and press your lips to his pulse quickening at the familiar comfort of his touch. You have no idea how good it is to see you. I think I have some idea, although you'll have to catch me up on the first half of the play. He sits down and you slide into the seat beside him. I was too busy watching you to pay attention. He rests a hand atop yours, his touch filling you with heated longing and a sudden wave of despair. I've been rather distracted myself.
What's going on?
Well, I got to my quarters last night. Adele was waiting in the room with Philippe. He'd come to ask if he could formally court me, and Adele accepted on my behalf.
Theo stiffens beside you, indignation lighting up his features. She did what?
I know, I'm furious with both of them. I'm just some pawn to them. I expect better from my own sister. And I'm not even sure what Philippe wants half the time, but it certainly isn't my happiness.
No, I don't think it is.
I'm so sorry, Theo. I wanted no part of this. But with Philippe formally courting me, I understand if you don't want to... I mean, it makes things riskier no matter how you've...
He immediately clasps her hands and he is shaking his head. You have nothing to apologize for, nothing. I'm sorry they put you in this position. It doesn't change how I feel about you or how much I want to see you.
It doesn't?
His warm fingers curl reassuringly around your own. Of course not. We might have been to be more careful with Philippe trailing after you like the world's worst puppy, but we can still make the most of the time we've got, especially the moments when we're alone. You're dimly aware that the curtains have drawn back on the stage before you, as the second half of the play begins. Here comes my messenger. Now. Mad spirit.
My mistress is in love.
Theo leans towards your seat and kisses you passionately. Heat races through your veins in response.
Despite the theater full of people below, between the dim lighting in your curtained booth, you both find yourself responding with equal ardor. You make a very compelling point.
Theo kisses you again and again, each one deeper than the last, punctuating his kisses with whispered words. In that case, how do you want to use the time we've got now? Theo's voice is thick with meaning, his eyes dark with passion, and the low light of the private box. The idea is daring, even more intriguing, especially as Theo presses another kiss to the fluttering pulse point on your neck. You ache with the memory of kissing him in the bunk. Now it feels... never felt like it was enough, and he seems to be offering something more now.
You know how it is. Here we go. It would be a shame to let this privacy go to waste.
Theo's eyes light up with desire, his lips, full lips curving into a sensuous smile. Sometimes it's like you can read my mind. Your breath quickens as he slides one hand across your knee, slowly tracing his fingers up your thigh.
Oh, you're not wasting any time.
Well, I have no idea how long this play is. Gasping quietly, you force yourself to remain still as his fingers slide higher and higher. Although your private box shields you from view, the theater's small and the audience is listening intently. Now, my Titania, wake up, my sweet queen.
My Oberon, what visions I have seen.
You bite down on your lips, stifling another moan as his hand slips higher, pressing against the fabric at the apex of your thighs. I urge him on my words.
Don't stop.
You lick your lips, arching up against his palm. Beneath his touch, you feel dizzy with need.
You make me feel so...
Through your skirt, he trails his hand softly against your womanhood. You can already feel the heat soaking your undergarments. His work-roughened fingers catch against the delicate material of your dress, sending a fresh wave of desire washing through you. I make you feel what, Violet? The low growl of his voice nearly tips you over the edge.
So desperate.
To your dismay, he slips his hand between your legs, or out from underneath your legs, and trailing his fingers up your tantalizing slowness. Ever so slightly skims the swell of your full breast, making you twist and beg for more.
Theo, please. I didn't realize you came here to torture me.
He just smiles hungrily, reaching for your hand. Never, but before I give you what you want, I want you to show me just how you need to be touched.
You mean by myself?
I give Theo a point for that. A decidedly wicked look flickers across his face, and the scorching heat in his eyes almost makes you moan. Haven't you ever touched yourself before?
Of course I have. I've just never somewhere so public.
He leans close, his warm breath tickling your bare skin as he whispers in your ear. Well, you know what they say. There's a first time for everything. The idea of... Yep. Theo's hand steadies your thighs as you tremble through the aftermath. His tongue feelings. Yep. Basically, his tongue didn't work. Anyway, Theo, that was a happy ending. He gently tucked her skirt back down, wiping the back of his hand across his mouth with a satisfied grin.
Yes, but what about you?
He's breathing hard, and you can still see the evidence of it as he settles back into his chair. I think the play is almost over.
Hand in hand with fairy grace, we will sing and bless this place.
So shall all the couples three ever true in loving be. As the actors recite their final lines, he turns to you with a breathless smile. I am fine, better than fine. I might just have to work this tension out later. It takes a moment to understand, but when you remember him urging you to... Yep, the implication makes you flush with heat.
I hope you do, and I hope you think of me.
Always. I know you have to get back to your sister and Philippe. Lifting your hand, he brushes a soft kiss against your wrist, making you shiver. But thank you for an amazing night. I'll never forget it.
Neither will I.
Making your way back into the lobby, you spot Adele and Philippe near the edge of the room. Philippe still looks a tad queasy.
Serves him right.
Not really. No, not really. But Adele is busy chatting with several other ladies from first class.
A charitable outing, Lady Edith. How wonderful. Yes, I dare say it will be. Ah, Violet, how did you enjoy the rest of the play?
You remember Theo's tongue. Okay, yep, We didn't need a reminder, Pixelberry, right after that happened. It was...
quite stimulating. Intellectually speaking, of course. I'm surprised you enjoyed it so much. I know you had some doubts about the quality of the show.
Adele gives you a searching look, and you turn towards the ladies beside her, eager for a change of subject.
Yes, well, it was a pleasant surprise, but perhaps you could tell me more about your charitable outing, Lady Edith. Well, yes, these ladies and I, Miss Sarah Beckwith and Lady Lucy Gordon. Pleased to meet you. Yes, charmed, I'm sure. We're planning to visit the third-class decks tomorrow, a chance to distribute some kindness and small trinkets to the less fortunate. The lower decks, that would bring me closer to Theo.
Yes, but does his friends, and most of third class that you've met, know about this arrangement that you have?
It does sound like a worthy venture. And Adele and I would love to join you.
Yep, this is gonna bite you in the ass. Anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description. Plenty of things to check out there, ways to support the channel, and ways to become more of an intricate part of this community and this family that we have here after pretty much over a decade. So, with that being said, once again, thank you all for watching the content that I put out. It is very much appreciated. I know a lot of you are not a huge fan of this book, but I try and make it entertaining, fun, put in my own opinion and whatnot, and I know some of you enjoy that. But, as always, if I talk sometimes too much, I do apologize, or if I do, please let me know. I try not to, and I always, overthink about things like that. So, again, this is one of the reasons why I say this at the end of the video. I know there's times where I'll be like, oh, you could have just shut the hell up and not said that little, quick comment. But, again, maybe that's just my overthinking, and, maybe it's not. So, once again, thank you for watching. Love your beautiful faces. Catch you all next time. Peace out.